Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. Now, I'm going to tell you guys in advance where I am. It's like a party going on, so if you hear any loud noise like music, people talking and laughing, please excuse me. Now, if you just tuned in for the first time, I will have you know that on Inappropriate Radio, we cover everything from spirituality to religion, right? This past, I want to say 2 weeks, about 3 now, we've been going over alien business, okay? Now, that's a fairly new topic. Even though we talk about things that are spiritual, the whole alien business is new to us here, right? So I was looking at a video earlier today, and it was just giving me some information on how basically the crop circles or corn patterns or corn formations were formed. It's actually still a mystery. Nobody really ever figured it out. Still a debate on whether they're even authentic or not, right? Some people are saying that it's from UFOs. Some people are saying that it's farmers who are creating these patterns themselves. There are even pranksters, right, who have played practical jokes, and they're even considered to be a hoax. Now, these things have actually been popping up since 1678. That's like the earliest report, 1678, 1880, 1932, 1963, right? There's a lot more recently as the times have went on, but I think it's important to consider, right? Because who's doing these types of hoax or making this up in 1678, right? Maybe 1880, but 1678, I don't know, right? Now, if you don't know what these crop circles are, they are very large patterns of crops, right? Particularly in wheat, corn, rice, and vegetation fields that form patterns, right? That appear to be not natural, but it's like, how else do you explain it? Okay, so there's a few theories on what this actually is, okay? So we have tractors, right, that can flatten them. Aircrafts like a crop duster that can press down on them. Crops being exposed to excess heat and or chemicals, a result of weapons testing. Animals smashing them down, lightning strikes, wind or water sprouts, electromagnetic energy or like radiation, archaeological remains. Okay, there were a few other, but I thought those were like the most logical ones, right? Now, when you look at these things up and you look at them, obviously you have to be looking at them from above, right? We can't necessarily see them in their entirety from like a side view or if we're in the same dimension. So you have to go basically from a different dimension to even see this. So I think that right there within itself is something that is like kind of like a hint, right? You have to go to a different dimension to even see it. Now, this is when it started getting interesting, right? You know that we've started to just do research and compare the numbers and really get into comparing coordinates, death and birth dates of influential people, dates of traumatic weather events, dates and the person's birthday who are passing certain bills in certain cities and states, right? Southern England popped up as one of the main places for these sites, right? They started to become popular around the 1960s, right? In the Southern England area. The coordinates are 50.7772 north and then 3.9995 west. Crazy, right? And then the name wasn't really given. We didn't get a name for this until the 1980s by a college professor. I forget his name. We can Google all this stuff up, right? But then we got to doing a little more research, and then nearly half of the reports of these crop circles that were made in the UK are within a 9.3. Listen to the numbers, guys. 9.3. We already said 3.9995 west. Then we said 50.777 and then a 2. That's a 7 as well. The 5 and the 2. Crazy. My mind is blown, right? Now that's the Southern England area, right, where a lot of these, corn patterns or crop circles have been reported to be, right? Then when we look over to the Avebury, now Avebury, if you're not familiar, is basically just another Stonehenge. It's bigger. If my memory serves me correct, I believe Stonehenge was first, but Avebury is bigger, okay? I believe. Don't quote me. You can look it up. But nearly the ones found in the UK were in a 9.3 mile radius of Avebury. Right? Majority of these things that were reported were sited near monuments. Stonehenge is a monument. Avebury is a monument. So I think these numbers are very telling. They are giving us information. I'm sorry, I'm hoarse. And we are looking at remnants in what could possibly be some proof, right? Okay, I just wanted to mention that. Now, I was also doing some research and came across some information that was basically going over, it was talking about people, it was basically a documentary of people who allegedly, right, have encountered aliens. Each of them have basically reported the same things. Headaches, being drowsy, being tired, having a foggy memory, if any at all, having pains in little different sites on the body where they felt they were sore, rashes on the skin. These rashes left patterns, okay? So this goes back to the overall concept that everything is connected. But before we even go down that path, right, I think we need to focus on the events itself. Now, number one, we have 1963. If you already know, you already know. You should think Tesla when you hear those numbers, universal laws, geometric shapes, all of that, right? 1678, 1880, 1932. These are the years that these things have been reported. Now, you can do whatever you want with those numbers, okay? I'm just giving you the information that's out there. Now, research regarding germination and geometric patterns and ratios were used to investigate the crop circles, but when it came to the people who had these interactions, all of them went to the doctor because they had sites on their bodies where they were complaining of pain, and they had trackers inside of them or implants of some sort. Each of them had also stated that they felt they were actually selected or chosen. They all felt that they were ordinary people, yet they had been, selected or chosen, or wrong place, wrong time. I don't know. You be the judge, right? But each of them had made a statement alluding to the fact that they felt that they were selected for one reason or another. So I think that's important. Perhaps they were, right? And I think as we phase through this segment, it's becoming more and more peculiar to me, like, as to what is the connection. Does it have something to do with time? Is Earth about to be hijacked? Is it time to leave Earth? Like, what is the reason for the communication? Yes, we've discussed the vibration changing. We've discussed moving into different timelines and shifting. But ultimately, like, what does it mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, do we have to physically leave the planet? Are they physically coming to the planet? Are we going to dwell here together? Are they going to kill us? Are they going to eat us? Are they trying to give us information? Like, what is the ultimate goal here? Because the interactions are real. The sources may not be so credible, right? But the overall instance, the overall happening is happening. And it's not really much any of us can do about it. I mean, it's probably going to trip people out. You're not really going to be considered crazy in a minute because it's going to be so obvious. It cannot be denied, right? Like, what are we moving into as a society is the overall gist. Like, okay, spiritually we know we're elevating, we know something's changing, we know something is going on and happening with the universe, but socially, where are we moving? Because if we're able to vibrate on a level where we can actually interact, do we start learning alien language? If they are advanced, I would assume that they would know how to speak English. They would probably even know how to transform into bodies that look similar to human bodies, if they already don't have bodies that appear to be human-like. Is this their planet to begin with, and we took it from them, coming from other galaxies or star systems? Like, what? You see, that's the gist. So we're going to be doing some more research. If you want to follow me down the rabbit hole, please do tag along. All right, but do some research on these crop circles, please, because I think it'll start clicking different ideas in your head when you start to see them, because this is not normal, okay? And if you know, then you already know. But I'm gonna end it here. I do love y'all. I do hope y'all have been drinking y'all water, eating y'all fruit and vegetables, and sipping on y'all own tea because it's free. All right. Love y'all. Peace.